probably wish you were already had cows if you're a small homesteader, because getting into the cattle market right now is not a good idea for the small homesteaders. Cattle prices are at an all-time high, September 2025, and doesn't look like they're stopping. What's a small homesteader to do when he's trying to feed his family a cow every year off his own land? All right, I've got some of my own land here. 5-acre pasture, all the way over there to the behind the cement blocks, to the cornfield and the road, all up behind the woods there, all up to the woods, and then all out to that cornfield. Got, as a homesteader, I've got 5 little acres here of cattle pasture, of pasture in general. I don't care if you put goats or sheep or turkeys in it, but you got 5 acres of pasture and you want some beef to feed your family. I had it to where I'd buy my own cows. I'd buy 4 cows, put them on the pasture, 5 cows some years, 3 cows some years, but I'd buy 4 cows a year average. And I'd sell 3 of them and put one in my freezer for free. And that was my idea of this pasture providing me with beef for my family for a year. But right now, getting into the cattle market, you'd have to buy 4 feeder cows. That market's insane. You rent out your pasture to the cattle guy. And when he pays you in beef. It's a good deal for the homesteader because I don't have to go to the auction house anymore. I don't have to follow the markets anymore. I don't have to put tags on my horse trailer or tires or any maintenance on my horse trailer or my truck due to cattle farming, cattle raising. I don't have to sit on the phone and try to find buyers for those 3 cows when they go to the butcher. I don't have to decide what butcher they're going to go to. In order to sell 3 cows, you've got to have a minimum of 6 people that they all want half a cow apiece. A lot of them want a quarter of a cow. That's 12 people if they only want quarters. You can also have chickens in your corral. Chickens is a good idea in the corral too. I don't have to spend any time on the phone getting with those buyers on when they want their quarter of beef, when they can go pick it up with the butcher, who those buyers are going to be. This buyer backed out. A headache that I don't have to deal with. The cattle guy has to deal with that. I still have to feed him. He buys the feed for him, which is a good deal for him because he has a farm, so he's raising the corn anyway. He's raising the corn, he's raising the cows, he's breeding the cow and they're having a calf. And so the corn is right out of his field and the calf is right out of his cow. His input to this is very little. My input to this is minimal. All I have to do is feed and water him. It's a win-win for everybody. No money changes hands and I get beef to feed my family and he gets pasture and a corral to move his beef around and raise his beef. Here's the chute that they're going to come in from the trailer. This gate, when the cows get in there, like Vader's about to be in there, now you got the cows trapped in there and they go to the wagon. You can herd them along here. Come on, get going, get in the trailer. Get in the trailer, let's go. Yep, get in the trailer. And she's stuck. You gotta have that gate open when the trailer's there. Yep, I'll open that gate for you. I know. You can't get out. And everybody's happy except for the dog is happy. The dog's not happy. There you go, Vader. Come on. Get them cows in here. Good girl. Now everybody's happy. Still use your pasture for cows. I find you a cattle guy who does that for a living. That's how he makes his living, is cattle. I'll make my living at cattle. I don't have enough cows. Don't get me wrong, when I raised 4 cows here, my beef was free. Those 3 other beef bought 4 more cows next year. They bought all the grain for the year, and they paid for my horse trailer and my tags. Paid for my tags every year and paid for maintenance on my horse trailer every year. And it was a break-even deal. I fed my family for free and I broke even. And this deal is still a break-even deal, except I don't have to do any of the work. All I have to do is feed and water them. I don't have to worry about hay. I don't have to worry about corn. I don't have to worry about my trailer. I don't have to worry about tags on my trailer. I don't have to worry about blowing a tire. None of that is my problem now. The price of beef, the price of buying the feeder cow, the price of selling the market cow, the price of all of that is irrelevant. The grain prices. You used to have to, when you're feeding 4 of them, you'd have to watch the grain prices so you could go to the elevator at the right time and get the grain at the right price. and then buy the cows at the right price, and then sell the cows at the right price. And now I don't have to worry about any of that. It's all done. You and the cattle guy have to work out whatever your trade is. Whether you have 20 acres and you get a whole cow every year, or you have 5 acres and you get a pound of hamburger every year. Your deal has to be worked out between you and the cattle buyer, and you have to work out and you have to trust him, and he has to trust you. I've got 10 of his cows here, and he's got to know that I'm going to water them and feed them every day. This is what I see being the main use of this, is he goes to Mark auction and buys 25 cattle. Now he can come in here, unload them in my corral. The ones that he wants to let out, he doesn't want back in his trailer, he can let out of the corral. The ones that he wants to keep, he can keep in the corral, and move back to the trailer. Or he can let them all out. We'll have 3 pastures here that are divided, and he can sort, I want this cow or this cow or this cow, and we can get him into the cattle pen and get him into the trailer. So the homesteader can offer a corral that's big enough and a pasture that's versatile enough to move cattle around and swap cattle. But I still get my meat to feed my family. And as a homesteader, I just see that as a win-win. There's no worrying about any of the cattle. Like right now, the cattle market has gone crazy, and I don't have to worry about it. And I'm thankful for that. Does that make sense? So I'll do a quick walkthrough, and we'll try to get a quick overview. That gate there is going to be bolted onto that pole there, so you can close yourself in there with that gate, and that gate you can close yourself in there and be protected from any wild cows that are in here. But you can just bolt yourself in the corner and just sit there in the corner and wait to close the gate on the ones that are going into the trailer. And then this gate here will hopefully get mounted pretty soon. It's not yet. But this will hopefully go out that way a ways, so that they'll have a V, an open area, an open V area to walk into here and funnel them into this lane, into this corral. Let me show you the outside of it real quick too. I did this in a short, but it doesn't come out in a short as well. So right around on the other side of this, there's the feeder that we were at on the other side, and this will be a cement pad to put that feeder on and feed them hay right there. They'll already be coming into this feeder to get food every day, and they'll have the other side closed off so they can't get the food from that side. And I won't have my tea jug in there. And then we'll close this gate on them here, and then they've got to run down that chute. Like, subscribe. We'll be back to sawmilling, hopefully in the next video. Well, the next video might be some deer. I got some nice deer on a game camera a couple days ago. So that little gate has the lock that you have to flip up, and then there's just a little hole in there. And this gate is the same way. This gate has 2 holes and just locks. But it's locked here. And then it just slides into that hedge. Boom, and it's locked. So there's the pasture, 5 acres. Google says it's not quite 5 acres. My dad says it's 5 acres. But I'm sure he just stepped it off. Okay, so there's the corral, hopefully. There's a chute that they're walking down. And there's the gate. And behind the gate is the feeder. And then there's the open corral. Hopefully that's a good layout of the corral. You can see everything, hopefully. And then you see how that lumber right there is too shaded and not enough wind anyway. It's starting to mold in there because it's too shaded. This tree's gotten too big over the years. So I'm going to remove that lumber stack, and I'm going to put water tanks in there for the cows.